Social media, our favorite place for cat videos, memes, and democracy's downfall? From spreading misinformation to influencing elections. Some say social media is eroding the very foundation of democracy. But is it really that bad? Let's dive in and see if we are tweeting our way to chaos. Social media, it's everywhere. We love it, we hate it, we can't escape it. It's how we communicate, how we stay informed, and let's be honest, how we argue with strangers. But is it doing more harm than good when it comes to democracy? Think about it. We have seen elections swayed, misinformation spread, and public trust in situations crumble, all thanks to a few taps on our screen. Now, the big question is, has social media become the enemy of democracy? Or is it just the scapegoat for deeper problems in our political system? First, let's talk about the good stuff here. Social media has given a voice to the voiceless. It's allowed activists, grassroots movements, and marginalized communities to rise up and be heard in ways that weren't possible before. And also it helps me, make videos. But anyways, let's look at the movements like Black Lives Matter or #MeToo. Without platforms like Twitter, Facebook, and other social media, they might have never gained global attention. Social media has democratized information. Now, anyone with a smartphone can be a journalist, a politician, or a thought leader. Look at myself. That's a game changer for democracy. Information is no longer controlled by a few elite media outlets. It's in the hands of the people. And now for some bad news, the misinformation and echo chambers. Social media has a dark side, we all know that, and that dark side is called misinformation. Platforms like Facebook and Twitter have become, or X, have become breeding grounds for fake news, conspiracy theories, and outright lies. Remember the 2020 US election? Misinformation was everywhere, from fake election results to wild conspiracy theories about the voter fraud. And not just the US elections, the elections in Pakistan that were controlled by social media to an extent, the elections in India were affected by social media. So we can look at the entire world and its elections and we can notice a similar pattern, how social media has affected the result to some extent at least. And the thing is, here's the kicker, it's not just random people spreading lies. Bots, troll farms, and even foreign governments are using social media to influence elections, sway public opinions, and destabilize democracies around the world. It's like cyber warfare out there, but hey, with memes, that's funny. You guys seen the meme of Trump? Yeah. Social media also creates echo chambers. The algorithm feeds us what we want to see, trapping us in bubbles where we only hear opinions we agree with. This deepens the political polarization and widens the gap, makes it harder for us to engage in meaningful dialogue with people who think differently. We are all living in our own little echo chambers, convinced we are right and everyone else is wrong. And that is a huge problem. And now we've talked about the good, bad, now we'll talk about the ugly side of things. Election interference. We have seen it in the 2016 US elections. We have seen it in the Brexit vote. Hey, by the way, if you guys have not watched my video on Brexit, here's a link. And in elections around the world, foreign governments, bad actors, and even political candidates are using social media to manipulate public opinion, spread propaganda, and interfere with democratic processes. Platforms like Meta, Twitter, X, have been slow to respond, allowing fake accounts and bots to spread disinformation and inflame division. When democracy's most fundamental process is free and fair elections, it is compromised by social media manipulation. It's not hard to wonder if the system itself is under threat. So, is social media destroying democracy? Well, it's complicated. It's more complicated than you think. On one hand, social media has empowered people, given a voice to those who were once ignored, and helped mobilize massive social movements. But on the other hand, it's amplified misinformation, deepened divisions, and allowed foreign powers to mess with elections. half of the world thinks the world is flat, the earth is flat. That's misinformation, right? Anyways, tech companies are now trying to fix the problem. New algorithms, better fact checking, and stricter rules. But hey, the question remains, is it too late? Can we rein in the chaos of social media before it does permanent damage to democracy? Or is it just the new reality we'll have to live with, we'll have to accept? Now, in the end, social media is a tool. It can be used to build, destroy, create, whatever. The future of democracy depends on how we choose to use it. Can we find a way to balance freedom of speech with the need of truth? Or will we break out of our echo chambers and start having real conversations again? The answer isn't simple, but one thing's for sure, democracy's survival might just depend on. Like, subscribe and share and follow us for more. Thank you.